Belongs to TCU, and it's Audrey Knowles with it. There's a set to the outside, and the first point belongs to the Panthers.
Yeah, tip from the right side there, just inside the TCU block. High Point did a lot of work in their pregame routine, working on off-speed and high flat shots against the block. You could tell they're definitely concerned with the TCU block.
Jada Shelton with the first kill of the match. Out of Oceanside, California, Melanie Parra had it dug out. Parra with a big swing on that 50-50 ball. Set to the outside for Jalen Gibson. On the overpass, the joust is won by TCU. Good rally here by both teams. High Point's had the block up twice now against Melanie Parra. To the outside, blocked by TCU. Bramschreiber with a great dig. This rally's been a long time in the making. The point belongs to the Panthers as Melanie Parra tried to go down the line.
Yeah, it looked like Melanie was looking for the hands that time off the edge of the block, but seemed to just missed out of bounds.
Jordan Schilling at the service line with the service error. That's her 32nd of the season.
Yeah, right off the bat, you do see High Point moving the offense around left, middle, and to the right side.
Seth Bramschreiber will serve. Tough ball to handle by the Panthers, and on the outside, Dylan Mayberry.
Yeah, nice swing high into the cross court for Mayberry. And a bit of an out-of-system play. See this play breaks down just a little bit, and Mayberry, again, a nice high shot into the cross court. Another thing they were working on quite a bit in their pregame routine.
Kill leader for the Panthers out of Magnolia, Texas. There's a cross-court kill. That one off the hands. Jaden Gibson with the swing for the Frogs.
Yeah, great swing from the right side. Sophomore Gibson's had a tremendous season this year. You see that ball on the set from Lily Nicholson. A great sharp 2-to-2 angle there.
Gibson had 9 kills last time out against Houston, a match that the Horned Frogs lost in 3 sets after picking up a couple of wins against the Baylor Bears. And there's the first point of the match by Melanie Parra.
First kill, probably many for Parra. Again, a nice high shot into the cross court. Parra transfer from Texas.
Played on the national championship team. We go back out to the outside for Mayberry. She tried to get that one off the hands of the block, but sent it long.
She did. Again, they were working on that high flat shot warm-up, and that's what she was going for. Nicholson's hands, but just missed.
Gibson with the serve. Backside set. And the kill that time from Evie Wilson, the freshman out of Sandy, Utah.
Good swing from the right side that time, down the line, a little thumb down from Wilson.
Wilson, one of the notes from High Point, actually has a pet pig. Don't see that very often.
Do not see that very often.
Back row attack from Mayberry, and she picks up another kill. She's a transfer from LSU, started her career there, played 14 matches as a freshman.
She did. LSU had a coaching change. Tanya Johnson moved in a couple years ago, so she decided to take her talents to High Point in the Big South Conference.
Audrey Knowles, nice dig on the backside by Schilling. Parra with the back row attack, and Melanie Parra picks up her second kill of the match.
Yeah, Parra again hitting that white from the back row. I think the Big 12 has 2 of the best back row attackers in the country with Parra and Madison Skinner from Texas.
Parra with the serve. And with the ace. When she's able to get that serve in, it is just so tough. There's a lot of power behind every swing she takes.
She does, and that's one of the things, even watching her back in the Texas days, she led the team in aces so often with this. It's a bit of a hybrid serve. That one wasn't complete topspin. It was a little bit flatter. She uses the two-handed toss on the jump serve. And another ace that time, same thing. Just nice, hard and flat. It's a tough ball to defend for the amount of pace that she puts on the ball.
2 consecutive aces for Parra. That's 42 on the year for her. She's second in the Big 12 with those 42. This time goes to the floater. And that one tooled off the block. Nice swing on the outside by Evie Wilson.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was on purpose or because of the toss, but she definitely changed that up and ended up going with a medium depth high floater without as much pace.
Wilson will serve. Her mother played. Her mother was a swimmer at BYU. She picks up a service error. That's the second service error on the Panthers here in the match. And a timeout taken. Harvey. Set to the outside for Graf. Gibson tried to dig that one out, could not come up with it cleanly, and it's a point for the Panthers.
TCU that time a little tactical variation. They had Lily Nicholson, who most of the time blocks on the right side as a setter. They actually had switch blocked and put her in the middle, triple blocked on the outside, that out of system play, but they got caught a little bit in transition.
On the overpass, TCU able to dig it out. Parra again with the back row attack, big swing. Nice dig on the backside though by Mayberry. Nicholson goes to Knowles on the outside, and Audrey able to score as she terminates that one from the left side.
Had a great play that time. Sarah Sylvester up early in transition, and they run that inside hut ball right over the top of Sylvester, and very difficult to defend. And High Point block got caught biting in the middle and left a lot of space open for Knowles.
First kill of the match for Audrey. Bramschreiber with the dig, set to the outside. And in the middle, TCU able to score. Sylvester with the swing. Sarah Sylvester, normally known for her blocking, picks up the kill there.
Yeah, TCU doesn't run the middle a ton. They're, like most teams, they're very pin dominant, but Lily Nicholson, a good job finding Sylvester in transition that time.
Ball set behind Parra in the middle on the back row attack, but Melanie able to score. That just shows you how
well you do. It's, do your opponents keep winning matches? And that's why at this stage of the season, TCU's got to hope that a lot of the teams they played this year keep winning.
Lily Nicholson hits the tape and picks up an ace for the Horned Frogs. That's the third ace of the match already for TCU. Melanie Parra had 2 back-to-back. Last time she was at the service line as Nicholson again serves. Lily's done a great job when Riley Buckley has not been in action, and there's Knowles on the outside. Audrey with her second kill. 5-0 scoring run now for the Horned Frogs as they have opened up a 14-6 lead here in the first set.
Yeah, nice pancake that time from Nicholson, and then a great out-of-system swing from Knowles.
Goes to the floater. Tough ball to handle. And they go to the middle. They set Anna Wilson, a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, that ball set a little bit low. Wilson had to drop her elbow and kind of chip at it, but just missed out of bounds. I believe TCU's on a 11-2 run now. It was 4-4 at one point.
And that ball just inside the end line. Another ace for the Horned Frogs. So Nicholson now with 2 aces, 4 total for TCU. And High Point going to make a rotation change here.
Yeah, High Point getting Mayberry out of serve receiver, at least out of the back row, with their couple missed serves in the net, and TCU's 4 aces now TCU's definitely winning the serve and serve-receive battle. And as I say that, a serve into the middle of the net, but
announcer jinx.
Exactly. Comfortable 16-7 lead for the Horned Frogs, though.
First service error for TCU. Back to serve. High Point breaks the 5-0 scoring run for TCU. Nicholson sets Knowles, and then Knowles able to power that through the block. LJ looked like they had the block set up, but Knowles just too much pace on it.
Yeah, she just tucking that just inside the block right here, not quite pressed over. She's high, Anna Wilson, but not quite pressed over enough, so that ball just tucked right inside.
TCU will have to get it over on the third hit as Nicholson just pushes it across. Set to the outside. Nice swing that time by Bailey Sparks. Or check that, it was Kennedy Luisel.
And she's the one that checked in for Dylan Mayberry, so it looks like they're gonna give Mayberry some time or a little rest, or maybe just a chance to get a breather before she goes back in. Again, this match not meaning a ton for High Point, so not the biggest deal if she saves some swings for next week's tournament.
High Point with the serve. Jordan Schilling at the service line. Melanie Parra goes to the roll shot, picks up another kill. Melanie Parra with the great volleyball IQ.
Yeah, she disguised that pretty well. A full backswing and then just the tip right at the last second. That's a very difficult play to defend. A lot of times the easiest play to defend that is the blockers just try to come down and play it.
High Point keeps it alive off the block by TCU. Nicholson, backside set for Gibson on the overpass. It's blocked nicely at the net by Evie Wilson, the freshman out of Sandy, Utah. 103 blocks for her now on the year.
Yeah, and a very heads-up play by Wilson, seeing that ball is getting dug over the net. She got up nice and early on the overdig there.
That service long. Kaya Willock was at the service line, ended up hitting that one long. Jalen Gibson to serve. Backside set for Wilson. She tried to get that one off the blocker's hands, but sent it wide. Side out TCU.
Yeah, just a little flat that time.
Gibson again with the serve. Set to the outside, and a nice kill that time by Luisel.
Yeah, and High Point, those front row setter rotations for High Point. Wilson hitting from the right side instead of from the middle. They're splitting the hitters in a couple of those rotations. Instead of having the middle hit more first tempo sets, they're actually spreading it out.
Luisel, just a freshman in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and there's a service error on the Panthers. That's the fourth of the match.
Yeah, and sometimes you can handle service errors if you're getting some aces as well, but 0 aces to 4 errors, definitely not a ratio you want, whereas TCU's 4-to-1 at this level. If you can even get 1-to-1 ratio at this level, you're doing really well.
Melanie Parr once again back at the service line. Had a couple of aces last time she was there. And almost picked up another one. Just able to get it over, and there's Julia Adams, who rotated into the match. Julia, long-time attacker for the Horned Frogs, playing her final season. She picks up the kill. She's got over 1,000 kills in her career. That's 7th all-time. She's seen her role diminished a little bit this season. Still a big contributor for the Horned Frogs, especially over the 4 years she's been here. That one was blocked nicely. Knowles had the swing, but a good job of getting that block set by the Panthers.
It was a good job. Knowles tried to force that one down the line a little bit on the inside set. Again, a good job by High Point setting up a nice solid block. Left side and middles timing was good. See Lily Nicholson checking back in for Julia Adams, a bit of a blocking sub there.
Again, the block is up. Bree Green with the swing for the Horned Frogs, but again, High Point able to set the block. Good anticipation by the Panthers.
Yeah, Christine Graff, a great job blocking the slide. The timing is very difficult. You got to jump so much earlier, and they did a great job that time against Green.
Melanie Parra out of the back row. This time sends it long. Going to attack her on Melanie Parra. And a nice little run here by High Point as they've scored the last 2 points.
Yeah, and sometimes this big of a deficit, the odds of High Point winning a set are pretty limited, but it is something that they can take over for set 2. They're always putting together a bit of a run, looking a little more comfortable against TCU's tempo.
Big swing by Melanie Parra out of the back row. She picks up the kill. That ball hit the scoreboard. Not much you can do with a ball that's hit that hard.
No, it's one of those you gotta basically just collapse on it and try to dig it high and way off the net. That ball gets on you so fast. TCU using a blocking sub again as Adams will go in. She'll play on the left, and Knowles will go to the right as Rayola serves.
Backside set off the slide. And that kill will be credited to Anna Wilson, the redshirt freshman out of Ontario, Canada.
TCU will sub it back, putting Nicholson into set and serve receive. The things that Coach Williams has done with Nicholson the last several matches they played, moving her around and even getting her out and running the offense from another setter or even out of system if they get the dig.
Nicholson sets the outside for Knowles, and Audrey kind of half swing that time by Knowles, but it's effective as she picks up the kill.
Yeah, she flew past the ball a little bit, but the slam dink, the dink with some pace that the U.S. women's team used with so much effectiveness in it. Their gold medal run a few years ago.
Nicholson to serve for the Horned Frogs. Set point for TCU. Nice dig by Parra. Outside for Knowles. Knowles trying to get that one off the block. Went high hands but missed. So it's side out, High Point.
Yeah, you notice TCU even off digs to the 10-foot line in transition, still really forcing that left side tempo.
Back to serve. Tijarena. In the middle, Sal Sylvester for the Horned Frogs, and set 1 belongs to TCU. Kind of a dominant performance by TCU in this first set. We'll take a timeout. Come back with set number 2 right after this.
Back out there, she's got to get used to, again, the speed of some of these NCAA teams. And 9 days off sounds great, but sometimes that much time off, you lose a little bit of rhythm. You look at the Major League Baseball playoffs, same thing. Rest and time off is good, but it also can be counter-effective.
The joust at the net won by TCU. I'm not sure if it was Sylvester or Gibson who got their hand on it. But the first point of the second set belongs to the Horned Frogs. It'll be Sylvester who gets credit for it.
You see Gibson, Gibson second jump that time. As Audrey Knowles serves the ball out of bounds.
Second service error by TCU here in the match. Back to serve, Jordan Schilling, transfer from West Virginia. On the outside, Jalen Gibson with her 3rd kill of the match.
And TCU showing a lot of variety offensively right now. Okay, a couple tips, couple roll shots, the power tip. Okay, really moving the ball around locationally and with their velocity on the ball.
Seth Bram-Schreiber had to serve for the Horned Frogs. That one set in the middle for Bree Green. And I think she was expecting the block to be up as she took that swing, but ended up with a side out.
Yeah, Green up, trying to hit that ball sharp right into the left back corner. Just missed a little bit wide.
Quick set in the middle for Green. This time, able to score for the Horned Frogs out of the middle as that one off the block.
And I like the play that time, but Nicholson repeating, going back to the hitter who had just made a mistake. That's something I used to encourage my setters to do. If a hitter makes a hitting error, you try to give him the ball right away the next play if you can.
Block set up nicely by TCU on the swing that time by Wilson. Brant Freiber, the bump set for Knowles on the back row attack. That one missed wide as Mayberry tried to go.
Yeah, Mayberry a little short in her transition approach line that time. Overran the ball a little bit. Usually when that happens, the ball's going to sail a little bit on you.
Blocked by TCU, and the Frogs will end up with a point. Wilson trying to go down the line, but TCU had that block set up perfectly.
Yeah, they like setting Wilson in that rotation.
Jalen Gibson with the serve for the Horned Frogs here. Had 9 kills against Houston the other day. In the loss, there's the block by Green, but that one ends up beyond the sideline, so side out, High Point.
Yeah, you notice again TCU switch blocking that time. Actually put Bree Green on the right, so a good coaching move. But Mayberry, a good high swing off the edge that time.
That one dug out nicely, and there's Bree Green in the middle. Boy, when Melanie Parra can get a nice set and a big swing on it, there's just not much you can do to dig.
No, and Schilling kind of laughing that time. She's in good position. You see her, she's in pretty good position that time, but just too much pace on the ball.
And it's oftentimes with Melanie, with those swings, you see those overpasses because you just can't do much with it. And there's Green in the middle.
Yeah, Green, one of the better blockers in the Big 12. A good job that time. It's not always easy blocking against the back row attack. You got to be disciplined, delay your timing just a little bit with the ball coming from further off the net, and that time the hang time definitely helps.
Mayberry on that back row attack. Big swing by Parra. Tough ball to handle. Nice job by High Point. That one tooled off the block.
Yeah, TCU going with what's called the Bic ball in transition, the faster back row attack that time. Timing was perfect. It's one of their bread and butter plays to Parra from the back row.
6 kills now for Parra, who's still at the service line. Goes with the floater that time. TCU with the point. Christine Groff with the attack error. Graduate transfer from California Baptist. She was all whack last year at California Baptist.
You see Hannah Hawkins going into set now for High Point. They're trying to get some kind of different rhythm right now. Down big in set 2.
Back row attack by Mayberry. Knowles just punches it over. Mayberry will have to try to bump set it. A 50-50 ball. Won by TCU. Looked like High Point might have been in the net.
Yeah, net violation that time.
5-0 scoring run for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, that time you see Wilson definitely in the net. An easy call for the down ref. Kennedy Weasel going back in for a High Point for Mayberry.
Blocked by Green. Bump set on the outside for Groff. TCU at the point. Christine Groff, her father played 9 years in the NFL as a quarterback. He was a quarterback at Wisconsin. Timeout taken.
The RPIs for both teams. It's a win-win for both teams, honestly. You got High Point with nothing to lose. TCU, a match that if they can win this match today, it'll still help the RPI going into the finale against BYU on Saturday.
Melanie Parra has been at the service line and serving well here. Another tough ball, and she comes up with her third ace. Louiselle tried to dig that one out. Just that ball was kind of coming at us. There's so much pace and spin on it.
Yeah, and she had a bit of a curveball that time with a lot of side spin. That ball was really difficult to pass.
Parra again with a big swing on the overpass. It's Audrey Knowles, and this is as good as TC has looked in a long time. And when Melanie Parra can get that serve in, you just see how much of a problem it is for the receiving team.
It is, and they're winning these points with relative ease too. Not a lot of high stress points so far for TCU in the first set and a half of this match.
8-0 run for the Horned Frogs. Another overpass, and Audrey Knowles again will score for TCU. 6th kill of the match for Knowles, and the last 2 have been relatively easy.
And another point, Parra's not going to get an ace on the stat sheet for these couple points, but they're still service winners nonetheless. Mayberry checks back in for High Point.
And Parra again at the service line. This has been an outstanding run for her. And finally makes a mistake as she tried to go deep, but sent it long.
Yeah, that one a little flatter, which is why that sailed out of bounds instead of dropping in with the top spin. I think High Point was more hoping that was going out than anything else. It was definitely closer than I thought it was going to be.
Broke the 8-0 scoring run for the Horned Frogs. Bumped over on the 3rd hit. Nicholson in the middle with the dunk. Doesn't do that very often unless she sees that it's wide open. Lily Nicholson, the freshman's played really well.
She's doing well, and I think moving the ball around in a match like this is something that's going to be good for TCU going into Saturday's match with BYU. I do like the fact that they're running the middle a little more often than usual. Even the setter dump from Nicholson right there, at least taking some of the stress away from the outside hitters.
Back row attack from Mayberry. Sylvester kept it alive for TCU. Knowles goes to the tip. And trying to go for the dump in the middle that time was Allie Gray, the setter. Just came up short. Going back for a minute to Lily Nicholson, she's started every match since back on October the 18th against Texas. It's been a trial by fire for the true freshman.
It has, and Lily had the benefit of playing very high-level club out in this DFW area, so she is used to matches at a pretty high level, and that's a match. You refer to the Texas match a few weeks ago, a match that TCU really had won in set 4 before Texas made the comeback and ended up winning in 5, and a match that definitely could have gone either way.
High Point with the serve. That ball from Nicholson set a little high for Sylvester. It went over her head. Nice dig by Adams, who's back in the match. Bump set on the outside, and that was an awkward swing that time by Jada Shelton, the junior transfer from New Mexico State.
Yeah, not a great set out of system that time from Jordan Schilling. But that, nevertheless, the ball just needs to be put in play. High Point really looks frazzled on the offensive end, not getting a whole lot of high-quality attacks.
Nicholson comes up short on the serve for the Horned Frogs. That's the 4th error, service error for TCU.
And again, you don't mind the amount of service errors if it's, if they're tough serves, and plus TCU a 17-5 lead up to that point. So keep serving tough. You'll get your aces at some point. Okay, if you make a couple mistakes, so be it.
A kill in the middle that time from Anna Wilson. Wilson now with 3.
You see this time, High Point run in the middle in transition. Always a great play off a dig to try to run the middle.
It looked like a much faster set that time than they've been utilizing. And there's a attack error by the Horned Frogs.
You see a little bit tight of a pass. Nicholson ended up under the net and trying to run a tandem play in the middle to Gibson that time. We'll see if they repeat, if they spread the offense out this time.
Tiarena with the serve. And that serve is long, so service error. That's the 5th on High Point in the match. TCU also with 5.
And again, anytime you can get a 1-to-1 ratio, you will take that as a coach any day at this level.
Block was set up nicely by TCU, kept alive though by High Point. Set to the outside, and that one tooled off the block. Melanie Parra again with the big swing. Even when the block's set up, she's got the ability to score.
She does, and she's hitting that off the block. That tight set from Sylvester, she's trying to rip that off the block. She's actually probably going for a ball more over the score table, but nevertheless gets the kill.
A little confusion by TCU. Julie Adams tried to dig it. I think there were a couple of Horned Frogs who might have been a little bit closer to that ball, but
yeah, it's a good play at this level. Free ball and the ball short right into zone 2 there, and sometimes that's going to happen. You get the right side, right front player who's usually responsible for that, but you get the right side player and the setter in that triangle right there with the middle back also, but that's ball Gibson's going to defend the next time.
Nicholson with a save. Parra with a big swing. Good job digging it out by High Point. Mayberry goes down the line. She's been kind of quiet. That's just her 3rd kill of the match. Came into the match this afternoon with 433 to lead the way for the Panthers.
She's been very quiet. But a good play that time from Tiarena, just sitting in on that dig. That's how you got to do it against Parra. You just got to sit in there, and a perfect dig for a transition kill that time.
Melanie Parra with the kill, went to the off-speed shot that time. 8 kills for Melanie, who had 8 against Houston in the 3-set loss last week. That one off the block, side out. And a point for the Panthers.
Got another kill from Mayberry off the block, so possibly starting to get into a rhythm here.
Mayberry's had 23 kills. That's her career high against Campbell back on October the 26th. Melanie Parra with the tip. Bumped over that time by Tiarena. And the block set up nicely in the middle that time by Wilson. And Wilson will pick up the kill.
Yeah, Wilson all by herself that time against Green, but gets the solo block. A little bit late, so that ball ends up getting blocked a little further off the net, but it finds the floor nonetheless.
Quick set to the outside. Gibson with the kill for TCU. Jalen's 4th of the match.
She's had a couple from the right side into that high into that 5-6 seam for kills. You see the High Point coaching staff discussing possibly a defensive change against the right side.
Backside set. There's the block by Melanie Parra off the swing by Evie Wilson.
Yeah, again, that rotation going to Wilson on the right side, as they've gone to several times already, and I believe the last 2, Parra's been all over it. We'll see if they make a change offensively.
Bree Green with the block in the middle.
Yeah, again, the same play sequence, just splitting the hitters. Hannah Hawkins back into the game to set for High Point.
Back to serve for TCU. Jalen Gibson serves it long. Mayberry with the nice swing on the outside. Comes up with the kill, her 5th. She's getting hot here in the second set.
And her best swing of the match. Little heat going 4-4. Okay, a little bit deeper than 4, but that hard flat ball. Just talking about that rotation for High Point. It's, it's hard to split your hitters with a front row setter if there's no back row attack option. Those rotations, they had 2 DSs and a libero in, so not a lot of options offensively there. You see that time, Green again from the middle.
4th kill for Bree Green. And it is set point for the Horned Frogs and Melanie Parra at the service line. It's a tough task for High Point.
Coach Williams getting some subs into the game.
Mariola into the match for the Horned Frogs. Nice job by High Point to get to that ball. Rayola tried to go to the tip, and High Point had the block set up. So good job by the Panthers as they fight off set point. It'll still be set point for TCU as they have a 10-point advantage here in the second set.
Ashlyn Borland actually setting that rally for the Horned Frogs. Now she's going to stay in as a DS as Nicholson goes back in to set.
Eckensberger with the serve. Off the slide, Bree Green will end the second set for TCU. Now TCU up 2-0, dominating the second solve for his undergraduate work. So came here from Creighton where he was an assistant. He's done an outstanding job with the Panthers. Bram Schreiber has to just bump it over for the Horned Frogs here. Set to the outside. Kept alive by the Horned Frogs. Knowles with the big swing. Great dig by High Point on that swing. Mayberry able to get it over. Nicholson sets the back row attack for Parra, who has to tip it over as the set was way in front of her. Quick set on the outside. And TCU picks up the first point here in the third set. Sarah Sylvester with the kill.
Yeah, again, Nicholson finding Sylvester in transition. Actually a good job by the block that time. The ball probably should have not hit the ground.
Lily Nicholson with the serve. The block set up perfectly by the Horned Frogs on that swing by Groff.
Yeah, Knowles and Sylvester that time, that high ball in the middle. Waiting for it. And this is what TCU wanted. They don't want to give High Point any hope. They'd like to get off to a fast start and see if they can finish this one quick in 3.
Mayberry able to get that one off the block as she swung high. TCU had the block set up, but that one off the hands of Audrey Knowles.
Well, as much as they worked on that shot quite a bit in warm-ups, I haven't seen them attempt it much, just a couple of times so far.
Foot fault by Nicholson as she tried to set that for Knowles. She had her foot underneath the net.
I believe that's the second time in this same rotation, a foot fault under the net.
This time she sets the backside for Knowles, and Audrey with a good run up on that perfect set, able to score her 7th kill of the match.
Yeah, good tempo that time. High Point, Mayberry leaving a little space down the line, and Knowles found it.
Audrey with the serve into the net. 6th service error for TCU in the match. So like you said earlier, LJ, you know, you got 5 aces, so don't mind an error here or there.
Yeah, if you don't make any service errors, you're probably not serving the ball very tough, so you just don't want the errors to be extensive, obviously. TCU off to a little bit of a sloppy start in set 3 here.
Great dig by Schilling. That one tooled off the block. Swing by Melanie Parra, who leads the way now with 10 kills for the Horned Frogs.
Nice hustle. Jordan Schilling that time, nice hustle. And Kaya Willick, the local product, shoveling it over, but Parra with the kill off the block.
Bram Schreiber to serve for TCU. They set the outside for Mayberry. That time TCU able to get the block up. They go right back to Mayberry, and that one's off Jalen Gibson's hands. He said that they worked hard on that in pregame warm-ups, and now we're starting to see them try to utilize that a little bit more.
That's the exact shot. She's going high flat the entire way right there, trying to serve the ball, or trying to hit the ball almost into the bleachers. They actually had a drill where they were actually trying to hit it into the bleachers just for the effect of hitting it high, hard, and flat. And that's 2 kills in a row from Mayberry, high and flat. It's tough to defend unless you pull your hands down, and that's always a risky play if you're a blocker, pulling your hands down against a hitter like Mayberry.
Dylan Mayberry with the service error there. Big swing on the outside. That was a nice set and a nice kill by Kennedy Luisel.
A very good swing that time from the outside. And right in a very small seam right there, but she found it.
Wilson with the serve. Knowles on the back row attack, had it blocked. Parra goes to the roll shot and scores. And Melanie Parra has every shot in her tool chest, and she can execute them quite effectively.
And it makes it hard to defend with as much heat as she has. A lot of the back row defenders just sitting back, waiting to get blown up right there. And she found the hole. The left front blocker creeping in to dig that, but the left back defender unable.
50-50 ball, one at the net by High Point. They go to the outside. There's the block set up nicely by TCU on that swing by Lewis. So TCU will pick up another point here. This set so far much closer than the other two.
And you say that, Parra goes back to serve. She's had a few runs already.
Couple of three service aces rather for her. There's a service error by Melanie Parra.
Yeah, that one very hard and flat. She does change her spins up on the jump serve. Some are flat, some top spin. We've even seen a couple with some side spin on it.
And the favor is returned on the service error by High Point. That's the 7th for the Panthers. And if you're trying to get back in the match, you cannot make those mistakes at the service line if you're High Point.
Yeah, they have 0 aces, so that's frustrating for a coach for sure.
And there's ace number 8 for, or check that, 6 for TCU. And that comes off the swing to 6.
Yeah, a lot so far to smile about for Parra and the entire TCU program.
Bree Green with the serve. Dug out by Nicholson. Parra with the set. Knowles with the swing. Nice dig by High Point. They just have to push it over. Quick set in the middle for Sylvester. And again, High Point doing a good job on the defensive end. And they will score. And a good job by the Panthers on a couple of those swings by TCU.
Yeah, Luisa, that's a tough ball to hit. Coming from so deep in the court, basically coming from over her shoulder. She's just basically chipping that into the block. She was just trying to keep the ball alive, but nevertheless, high into the block, and she gets the kill out of system.
Luisel, a freshman out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Quick set on the outside, the kill by Audrey Knowles. That's her 8th.
You've seen that sequence a couple of times with Sylvester jumping early on the B set or the 31 set, and then sending that tempo right over the top. I believe they're 3 for 3 on that sequence tonight, or today.
Set to the outside from Mayberry. Para with the dig. And set the backside for Gibson. Bramschreiber with the dig. And again, a good defensive stand by the Panthers. And there's Mayberry going cross court for the kill. Dylan Mayberry now with 8 kills, leading the way for the Panthers.
And that was a rip 4-4 that time. Again, she's definitely found something in set 3. 3 very high quality kills so far in this set.
Nicholson sets the outside for Gibson. Side out though, as she tried to go deep into the right corner, but missed wide.
And I believe we're gonna have a challenge. Challenging the touch off high off the block. First challenge today, actually.
On the floor.
And I think down referee Janitor Mullen saying there's just not enough to overturn.
Jordan Schilling out of Newport Beach, California with the serve. Quick set for Gibson. And Jalen Gibson with the kill for TCU, her 5th.
TCU going back to that tandem play in the middle, running that 5 ball or that 2 ball off of just a little bit on the inside of Sylvester with Gibson. Nice high shot off the block from the middle.
Taylor Rayola will serve. Rayola out of Scottsdale, Arizona, the senior. Her brother is the highest rated quarterback in high school in the country, signed with Georgia. And there's Melanie Para.
It's probably a wise decision these days with Georgia going for the 3-peat possibly this year.
Rayola's father, longtime center for the Detroit Lions, played 14 years in the NFL. Well, the Lions, so comes from a very athletic family.
He's got to be excited at the Lions start this year.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Nice swing on the outside by Christine Graff, another daughter of an NFL player.
A lot of lineage here in this match. Yeah, High Point definitely looks sharper in this set as opposed to the last two. Much better rhythm offensively so far.
High ball set on the outside for Mayberry, and Mayberry again able to score as that one is pulled off the block. Nice job by Dylan Mayberry. 9 kills for her to lead the Panthers.
Yeah, finding a rhythm, hitting that ball inside or high off Sylvester's hands.
Just a 1-point lead for TCU here in this set. Quick set in the middle for Wilson, and TCU able to break the scoring run with that swing. Jalen Gibson with the kill.
Yeah, net violation that time, but Gibson a nice high swing down the line from the right side.
Seth Bramschreiber at the service line for the Horned Frogs. Mayberry with the dig, bumped over by the Panthers. We'll go right back to Mayberry. TCU gets enough of it. And there's Melanie Powell. 2 and 1 off the block on the outside. Not surprising that Melanie Parra would lead the Horned Frogs in kills. She's done that 17 times this year.
Yeah, just catching the setter from High Point, reaching out, get that tool off the edge, off Allie Gray.
Bramschreiber goes down the line, dug out on the serve by Willock. And another nice kill by High Point.
That Wilson, that rotation 4, going back to that 9 ball from the right side.
Mayberry at the service line. There's a quick set in the middle for Bree Green. And Green with the kill for the Horned Frogs. She's got 7.
And that's a great pass from Bramschreiber. Very tough serve that time. Bramschreiber, a dime right there to Nicholson running the middle.
Nicholson's done a nice job of really distributing the ball here this afternoon. Para, great job on the defensive end by High Point. And High Point will score on that swing on the outside from Luisel.
And Nicholson blocking middle again. Luisel hitting one-on-one. Green is the only blocker that time, with Nicholson pulling off for the tips.
Wilson with the serve. Tough ball to handle. Somehow they get it to Para. That's just a good job by Nicholson to save that ball. It was a tough ball to handle on the receiving end of the serve.
There you see that ball passed into left front. Nicholson just throwing that ball straight up in the air, and Para, the nice high swing down the line. As Para goes back to serve.
It's a great person to have when things are kind of going awry, just to get the ball in the air. Melanie Para, who comes up with a big serve. They go outside, and a nice job by Luisel again. As Kennedy Luisel, the freshman, now second on the Panthers with 6 kills.
Yeah, she's played well, and that's a better job that time for her, noticing the switch block, and all the space for her to hit was actually in the cross court.
High Point with the serve. Nicholson sets the back row attack. Melanie Para with the swing. Knowles goes to the roll shot. And the Panthers have some problems on the receiving end there, on the defensive end rather.
Yeah, not a high quality second touch that time, and Luisel unable to hit that third ball over from that awkward angle.
Bree Green at the service line for the Horned Frogs. Sylvester in the middle for TCU. Sarah Sylvester with her 4th kill of the match. Timeout taken on the floor. TCU's opened up. Also had 34 against Tech. 10 double-doubles. The last one coming against Baylor just last week. His 11th in program history with 400 kills in a season.
You mentioned that Baylor match, that winning both of the matches against Baylor. Huge for the resume.
And a great job by Mayberry on the back row attack. TCU had the block set up, but Mayberry just so much pace behind that swing. Now has 9 kills.
I think TCU knew that one was coming. All 3 blockers camped out on the white that time, but Mayberry able to score nonetheless.
Really high ball on that serve. Nicholson sets Para on the back row attack, goes to the off-speed ball. There's the block by Mayberry. He's now in the front row. Bump set for Knowles, and a great dig on the back line that time by Hawkins. And Melanie Para from the back row with the kill. When she gets a good set and a run at it, you're not going to stop Melanie Para on that back row attack.
Yeah, you don't see many arms that are faster than that. That one comes off a little bit flat, but so much pace just blows up Jordan Schilling. These knuckleballs are hard to get out of the way of sometimes. That ball might have actually been going out of bounds, but Schilling unable to get out of the way.
Nicholson with the serve for the Horned Frogs, and that one's tooled off the block on the outside by Evie Wilson.
Got High Point hanging around here. Only a 3-point spread here in set 3.
And the Panthers have the serve. Schilling with the serve. There's the set for Knowles, who goes down the line. And that's Audrey Null's bread and butter swing right there.
Yeah, she likes that inside-out ball down the line from the right side. A couple kills tonight. Again, Mayberry giving her a little bit of space, and it's a tough ball to defend right there. That ball ripped right at the feet of Tijerina.
Knowles now with 9 kills. Rayola rotates back in to serve and promptly serves it into the net. Oh, High Point once again with the serve. Willock with the service error. That is the 8th of the match for High Point. TCU also with 8, but the Frogs have 6 aces and kind of offset that. Bram Schreiber will serve. Set to the outside for Mayberry. This time TCU gets the block closed. And a point for the Horned Frogs.
And you've seen Mayberry hit that 4-to-4 shot a couple of times in this. Yep.
So this one will be overturned. The point will belong to High Point. And a good challenge by Ryan Meeks, as he uses a challenge card effectively. And at this point in the match, that's a big call as it flips the score. TCU now leading 21-18.
That is a big difference. 3-point spread as opposed to a 5-point spread is a big difference.
Mayberry will serve. And then serves it long. Boy, I'm sure as a coach, nothing makes you more upset than you get the challenge, get the point, get the serve back, and then to make a mistake at the service line.
Yeah, and their last 2 serves have not been close either, and that's got to frustrate the coach, especially late in sets. Sometimes you have to be a little more conservative with your serving strategies.
Nice kill on the outside by Lucille.
Lucille's been a bright spot. Another good swing. 7 kills, hitting .455. A bright spot for High Point today.
Inside from Mayberry, she's been the most effective scorer for the Panthers. Back row attack by Rayola, and the block in the middle that time by Wilson.
Okay, Wilson, good job timing. That time, that broken play. Not sure Rayola was ready for that out of system white ball to come to her.
Good recognition by Nicholson. She just went for the dump, and it looked like Wilson was there, but just able to push it through her hands.
Yeah, setters are going to win those jousts more often than not. Wilson a little out of position that time, reaching and enabling Nicholson to win the joust.
Melanie Parra with the serve, and service error on Melanie Parra. She serves it into the net. So High Point still alive here, trailing by 2. TCU trying to close this out in 3 sets, but the Panthers doing a much better job here in the 3rd set, giving TCU all they can handle here in set number 3. Knowles. Wilson able to punch it over. Go right back to Knowles on the outside. Dug out nicely by High Point. And there's the block by TCU. Bree Green was there along with Nicholson. I think it was Green that got it. That's the 7th block of the match by the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, ball set maybe a little bit too far inside. Green making the exact same move that she was on the net on, dropping that left hand in and bringing us to match point.
Green to serve for the match. Nice dig by Green to keep it alive. Parra got it over. Side out on that swing, and the match belongs to the Horned Frogs. But before this one is over, Ryan Meeks, they're going to overturn this call. So Ryan Meeks 2 for 2. And we will play another set point, or excuse me, match point here. Second match point, 24-21 now after the overturned call, rather 22 for High Point after the overturned call. Still match point, though, for the Horned Frogs.
Regina Tijerina going in to serve. Mayberry in the front row. So this is a rotation High Point's got to like.
Tijerina, the graduate transfer to UT Rio Grande Valley with the floater for the serve. There's power out of the back row attack. Dug out nicely by the Panthers. The outside for Knowles, and again a nice D. Knowles keeps it alive. Bump set for Audrey. That one off of the hands of the block. And now TCU can celebrate as they win this one in straight sets, taking the third set 25-22. Overall,
चल के बाद बंदे के भोला स्वामी पे से भमिया तोहार सिर्फ संडे के बुझो जी अब करे हमारे इंतजार पिसन संडे के सुन तो ठंडे स्वामी पे सैन भमिया तोहार सिर्फ संडे के अब करे हमारे इंतजार पिसन संडे के बुझो पिसन भमिया तोहार
खुशी नी जुनी रोमल के देवी के बाटे फलल रे आइल बाटे तो मंडे के
भंगिया तो है सिर्फ संडे के अब करे हमर इंतजार किस्म संडे के
ऋषभ रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो सिमरा।